Oh, we are hard at work here at Right Weather, really trying to get a handle on this potentially historic nor'easter, possibly a blizzard, probably a blizzard, unless there's some wholesale changes to the computer models in the next couple of days. They are locked on to what will be a major nor'easter for southern New England, and the players are already on the map. So this is not a scenario where we're that far out, and there's likely to be a lot of change in the computer models over the next couple of days. You've got one system here moving through the northern tier states, and you also have another one down near the Gulf of Mexico, bringing some pretty heavy rain, giving an indication of some of the moisture associated with that, the energy with that. Southern branch system, the northern branch system also looking pretty good. In the meantime, we've got an area of high pressure which is going to be moving into eastern Canada. That will reintroduce behind a cold front that'll move through this evening some colder weather into New England for tomorrow. So it made it up to around 40 degrees in many spots today. Tomorrow, be lucky to make it to 32 in the Providence area, and it'll be even colder in northern Rhode Island. So some cold air does sneak in advance of this system. Both of these two systems head for the coastline. The energy is transferred right around the Carolina coast to the southern branch system, and it moves to the northeast. A real classic setup for a nor'easter. It'll be southeast of Nantucket by early Saturday morning. It may not be moving very quickly at that point. It'll slowly drift away during the day on Saturday, and we are in for a very good lashing from this storm in southern New England. So let's check out some of the things that we're talking about. First of all, Blizzard Watch is in effect now for a good chunk of the I-95 corridor. It includes all the areas up around Boston and then interior southeastern Massachusetts, as well as Providence County and Kent County in that blizzard watch. It does not mean that a blizzard is imminent. It means that conditions are favorable for a blizzard to take place, and so that will be upgraded to a blizzard warning if it becomes a scenario where it looks like, yes, the blizzard criteria will be reached. That criteria: 3 straight hours of heavy snow, quarter-mile visibility, and 35 mile per hour either sustained winds or frequent gusts. And it looks like the wind is going to be a huge part of this storm, especially for eastern Massachusetts. Here's a look at some of the graphics we've been using on rightweather.net. This impact graphic here gives you a good overview of what to expect as far as real-life impacts from this storm. There is expected to be a very high impact for any car travel Friday night through midday Saturday. The school impact potential is high, although some of the latest trends actually have the storm coming in a little bit later during the day on Friday. If that trend continues and pushes the steady snow and then the heavy snow back into Friday evening, it's possible the kids could get in a full day of snow on Friday. Right now, it's a close call, and might be looking for some dismissals or maybe even some cancellations on Friday if that snow does in fact start on Friday morning. Air travel impact also expected to be very high because it's airports from around DC and Baltimore all the way north and east right up through Boston that will be severely impacted by this storm, and it's the kind of storm that will likely shut down the airports for a time in southern New England at Logan and at TF Green. Highest snow potential is over 1 foot from this storm. There is the potential for snow mixed and rain with this storm, and the storm duration is getting a little bit longer now, 24 to 30 hours as opposed to 18 to 24 hours that we were showing earlier. So here are some other potential impacts, and again, it's the area shaded in blue away from the coastline that has the best chance of seeing all snow. But even in the Providence area, if it doesn't end up being all snow, the heaviest precipitation is likely to be in the form of snow. So when you look at the accumulation map in a second, you'll notice that Providence is included in some of the areas that I think has the best chance of seeing some of the highest snowfall totals from this storm system. The farther south and east you go, some rain is likely out on the Cape, Martha's Vineyard, Nantucket, and really a moderate snow accumulation possible there. But it's in those areas that we'll see some of the strongest winds, and some of the computer models have been suggesting the potential for hurricane force sustained winds for a brief time on the Cape and on Nantucket, with wind gusts in that 80 to 90 mile per hour range. That would be remarkable. Those would be the kind of winds that we saw back in the blizzard of January blizzard of 2005. Keep in mind, since 1905, there have only been 3 storms on record where there has been more than 20 inches of snow in the Providence area. You have to go back to to 2005 in January. That's the number 2 all time. 1996 is the number 3 all time. That was also in January. And then, of course, today is the anniversary of the big one, the blizzard of 1978, number 1 all time in Providence. So if we do end up with more than 20 inches of snow in Providence, it will only be the 4th time that has happened in the last 107 or 8 years of record keeping. Here's the snowfall forecast map. Widespread 10 to 20 inch snowfall with the best chance of seeing 2 feet of snow coming in these areas from northern Rhode Island, Kent County, up through Providence County, interior southeastern Massachusetts, right up through Boston, and parts of northeastern Connecticut included as well. We really won't know until Friday where those heaviest snow bands are setting up. So it's very difficult to say who will end up with the 18 to 24 inch snowfall amounts. There are some computer models that are projecting even higher than that. For now, we're kind of keeping it conservative. Many times leading up to these storms, the computer models show a really high amount of moisture and then back off of it as the storm gets closer to us. But if that does not happen, we may have to change this snowfall map some. Again, still a decent snowfall right along the immediate coast and on the Cape for the most part, and on Martha's Vineyard, where I think there's a very high likelihood of at least 6 inches of snow, maybe a foot. And if for some reason rain does not get involved or mixed precipitation in those areas, then the totals would be more and similar to that 10 to 20 that we're going for most of the rest of southeastern New England. Nantucket, strongest winds, but the least amount of snow. So it is likely to be a very wild ride with this storm as it approaches on Friday. The height of the storm Friday night, and it looks like it'll be through Saturday morning. So I would say from 8 o'clock Friday evening until about 11 o'clock Saturday morning in the Providence area, that is the height of the storm. The peak winds likely occurring very early Saturday morning. Some coastal flooding a concern too, with astronomical high tides, especially in eastern Massachusetts, with the persistent and very strong northeasterly winds. Keep checking rightweather.net for the latest on the storm, and don't forget to download the free Right Weather app for your Android or iOS device.